Hey, welcome everyone. This is Tracy Thomas, and I'm here with Rev Talks and Rev Marketing, and we're here to talk to Delaney Windows and Doors. The founder, Jack Neblett, is from Amherst, and he's here to kind of give you a rundown of what he does in the community as far as homeowners and a little bit to do with businesses too. So, Jack, if you don't mind, maybe introduce yourself and tell your story.
Oh, thanks for having me, Tracy. So last year in February of 2021, I decided to start Delaney Windows and Doors because there was a huge need in our community for reliable contractors, specifically in the window and door industry. So over this past year, we've seen significant growth. We've been able to help homeowners with a lot of issues, with high energy bills, stink bugs, getting their house ready for resale, things like that.
Yeah, so and you bringing that up, Jack, kind of makes me, one of the things I like to definitely talk about is, what are some of the benefits to replacing windows and doors? And I know you mentioned kind of the efficiency, for those of you that are out there, I know there's some of you guys listening in right now. Jack also replaced quite a few of our doors, including garage doors and everything else on our home. And we have windows and other doors still being done here early in the spring. And one of the things we did notice is he mentioned the stink bugs, which that's not something across everywhere in the country, even though they started off in Michigan, right? But they're really bad here in Amherst. And when I say bad, they a couple times a year when they come out and when they go in. And what we noticed is that since Jack has replaced the doors, just the seals on the doors, and not to mention, of course, we have a beautiful mountain view up here. We just love it. And looking through the glass of a new door is quite different than looking through glass that's, kind of it's all humid on the inside, and moisture and buildup. But Jack, maybe talk a little bit about some different aspects. I know one of our doors had a water leak too, and you took care of that. So maybe talk a little bit about the benefits and features and what you see that your customers enjoy enjoy having their doors and windows replaced.
Well, right off the bat, what comes to mind is just a huge savings on an energy bill. And not only that, but your heating and cooling systems. If your home is not well insulated or efficient, you're going to have your heating and cooling systems working extra hard, which makes them last much less. So by replacing your windows and doors, you're first of all cutting down on your bills, and then second, you're extending the life of your heating and cooling systems.
Yeah,
thank you. Another huge thing is we've talked about it a little bit already, but are the insects. They're really just they're pests, and nobody likes sitting on the couch and having a ladybug or stink bug fly and land on their shoulder.
Yeah.
So older homes, they just are not as airtight as newer homes. So by putting in newer windows, we have newer systems with the insulation, the flashing, the caulking, the trim. It all works together to help create a good seal to keep little intruders out.
Yeah, awesome. Now, when you mentioned doing the caulking and the trim and whatnot, so to me, I think that curb appeal is so important. Before we sold our home in Virginia Beach, one of the things we had to do is had to replace a couple of our windows, and they couldn't tell it was even replaced. It matched the other windows, but man, the curb appeal, and when the new homeowners when they purchased it, it just really improves the look of the home, and of course, obviously helps the resale value. That's why we sold it, right? So maybe talk a little bit about that, because I know that you have a large variety of windows. You pretty much can service any type of window. You can pretty much get any type of window or door that they're looking for, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. It's important to if you're only replacing one window, it can be very difficult to make it match the rest of the windows on the house. So having a contractor who knows different brands, knows their styles, that's going to help you potentially sell your house or just make it look like nothing ever happened.
Great. Yeah, and then when we're looking at this area in Amherst, I know Jack, I've talked to you many times on this, and you told me different areas. I don't remember all the different areas you service, but for everybody listening in right now, if you're visiting Jack's website, DelaneyWindowsandDoors.com, and once again, that's Delaney Delaney windowsanddoors.com. What you want to do is stop by, visit his website, look at it and see what you can see. But he's got everything on there from windows and doors. It's an amazing site. And also he services a lot of other areas in Amherst. And Jack, why don't you talk a little bit about the different areas that you service and what you can do to help people in those areas?
Sure. Yeah. Besides Amherst County, I spent a lot of time in Nelson County, Buena Vista, Campbell County, Bedford County, and of course Lynchburg.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay. So if anybody's in one of those areas, we're going to highly recommend that you reach out to Jack and his team and look at getting, your windows and doors replaced. And of course, Jack, when somebody does it, it's kind of overwhelming. I mean, our house here in Amherst is considerably smaller than our one in Virginia Beach. But when we looked at replacing some of those windows, and you're looking at 30 or 40 windows, it's a process, right? I mean, you might only be replacing one window, you might be replacing 5, you might be replacing 10. But either way, you have to have a process. And, there's different companies that have different things. But could you explain how you go about getting somebody a quote, or what do they need to do? They reach out to you, and then what takes place after that?
Yeah. So my whole thing when I started this business is I wanted everything to be as simple for the homeowner as possible. So I want to work with your schedule. I want to work with, whatever needs you have, and, really just treat you the way I would treat myself and my family. So usually the first step is to visit my website. There's buttons on there, links to where you can schedule appointments. You can call me directly, email, text, whatever works best for you. I'm happy to accommodate you. And so once we get in contact with each other, we'll either do a virtual consultation, or I can come out to your home or business, and I'll take measurements. You talk about different products, where we would start at, what, how long you're going to wait for windows to be ordered, warranty, and things like that.
Great, great. Yeah. And, what I liked about it, Jack, is we had called, I just, was Googling things, before I met you, and because we're new to the area, we didn't know anybody. We don't have any friends up here or anything. So I was just Googling, and that's how we found you. And to make a long story short, what I really found interesting is we've worked with a lot of contractors who were remodeling our home, and you're aware of that because some of them were here while you were here. And what we found out is communication is key. So anybody that's listening here right now, or if you're visiting the website and you're seeing this video right now, I want to rest assured, okay, that the one thing Jack does and his team, they're making sure that the communication is top notch. You're not making a phone call to him and he's taking 2 weeks to get back with you on something. So dropping off, whether it's the color selection and pamphlets and all the different things, Jack, we really appreciate everything you've done for us here. And I'm just excited, to get this video out there and let the community members know what you can do to help them out.
Yeah, I think this is an awesome tool, and I'm always looking forward to meeting new members of the community, because you meet one person, you end up meeting 5 or 10 more, and your network grows. And it's all about, in this rural county, in this area, about helping each other, coming together. And if I can do
Awesome.
that, then that's what I'm happy to do.
Awesome. Yeah. So to close, any closing statement you want to say, Jack, to anybody before? I just want to make sure before we end, though, we let them know again. Go to DelaneyWindowsandDoors.com. If you also type in Jack Delaney, windows and doors, it's going to come up. If you type in windows and repair with Jack Delaney, it's going to come up. I'm sorry, Jack Neblett or Delaney Windows and Doors. And I need to say that because I've called him Jack Delaney so many times, and I apologize. It's Jack
No worries.
Neblett and Delaney Windows and Doors. But either way, you guys can Google him and find him. And his website's an amazing site, and it's a great tool for you guys to see a resource. But Jack, any last words you want to say to anybody that's interested in possibly replacing the windows and doors as spring's upon us right now and here in February?
Yep. Times are tough right now with the pandemic, inflation, everything else. If you've got some money that you're looking to invest into your home, the least expensive option are going to be new replacement windows. You'll spend about $10,000 to $15,000 for a new shingled roof, at least $10,000 to have the outside of your house painted. For windows, you're looking at about $6,000 to $8,000 to do all of them in your home. So quite a bit less than these other exterior things. And it's going to make a huge, huge difference.
Yeah. So, and Jack, one last question now. If somebody was looking to replace all their windows, or if they had just a couple windows, or there's maybe they're remodeling and they put a bigger kitchen window in, is that something you do as well, where it's just not necessarily 10 or 15 windows, but it's maybe 1 or 2 windows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Those are great for fillers in between big projects. And oh, I lost my train of thought there.
No, no.
Oh,
But so if somebody, so
all,
somebody's remodeling. Yeah, I was just saying, if somebody's remodeling though, if they needed a window or two, but mainly the people that are replacing the window, because we all know if you're replacing a window, you can't just replace one window. You typically replace all your windows, especially when you're looking for the efficiency you were talking about and the strain on your heating and cooling.
yeah. No,
Okay.
definitely. That is something we'd be glad to help with.
Okay, perfect. So once again, if you any questions, reach out to Delaney Windows and Doors, and Jack Neblett will probably be the person that's going to reach out to you, and him and his team will take care of you guys. And it was great seeing everybody here with Ref Talks. And Jack, I appreciate it, and look forward to our next